Welcome back to the Organism of the Month at the Bean Museum. This month we're going to learn about the steelhead. And no, I don't mean a robot or a knight, but it's going to be just as exciting. This month's organism is the steelhead trout. Steelhead trout are a kind of fish located on the Pacific coast of the United States and Canada. Steelhead trout are all born in the same freshwater rivers, but they can turn out one of two ways. A true steelhead trout will leave the river and spend most of its life in the ocean, or the steelhead trout can stay in the river and will turn into what we know as the rainbow trout. Due to factors like diet and water conditions, the steelhead trout will remain a silvery color, which is how they get the name. A rainbow trout that stays in the river will develop a green back, dark spots, and a long pink stripe on their side. If a steelhead trout or a rainbow trout were to switch habitats and stay there for long enough, its color would eventually change. It's thought that female trout are more likely to travel to the ocean because of the abundance of food that will help them grow their eggs. Steelhead trout in the ocean can grow up to 50 pounds, while rainbow trout in the rivers grow up to about 20 pounds. Despite spending most of its time in the ocean, all steelhead trout will migrate to their original birthplace to spawn. They can mate with another steelhead or with the rainbow trout. Steelheads have an incredible ability to locate their original birthplace and can even find it after years of living in the ocean. Scientists believe this is due to them leaving behind chemical indicators or pheromones, and some even think that these fish can detect magnetic north. When the female lays her eggs, she starts by digging a hole about a foot deep by turning on her side and using her tail. She then lays up to 9,000 eggs and then buries them in the gravel. Fish eggs and fish babies are very easy prey, so protective measures like this need to be taken. Of the 9,000 eggs she lays, only about 1 to 200 of them will grow into adulthood. The young fish feed mainly on zooplankton until they're large enough to feed on things like small fish, frogs, and even small rodents if they stay in the river, or fish, crustaceans, and squid if they move to the ocean. Steelheads are poikilotherms, which means that their body temperature varies dramatically, and their behavior often corresponds to their body temperature. For example, they often begin their migration to spawn as the water starts to warm up after winter. In general, they prefer very cold waters and will actually die in waters any warmer than about 75 degrees. Steelheads also have two otoliths on the inside of their head. Otoliths are bone-like structures that help the fish with their hearing and balance. By examining the otoliths, scientists are able to accurately assess the fish's age, whether they lived in the ocean or in the river, and for how long. And that's all for this month. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, be sure to tell a museum educator in a green shirt something about the steelhead to earn your very own bio card. If you still can't think of anything to say, you can tell them that steelhead are known for being very aggressive when you hook them on a fishing pole, so many fishermen find them a lot of fun to try to catch. You can also find a steelhead coloring page on the Bean Museum website, or come to Discovery Reading and Coloring every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. If you enter your drawing into our coloring contest, you might just be the winner and earn a cool prize. Good luck!